From this episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS, I want to commend the show. They did not mess about. There was no ambiguity about the characters or anything like that because, let's be honest, I know who it was, you all knew who it was. You knew that those two characters were I and Raboppy. They had the same colour schemes, they sort of... It was the only logical answer to who those two characters were. And I like that the show didn't insult our intelligence. The typical shows would have had a few episodes of just like, who are these people? Who are these people that keep attacking us? Giving you little hints and then big revelation. No, you got a little tease of them at the end of the last episode. And this episode, they're walking around basically saying, I'm I, you're Raboppy. The biggest shock in this episode, I would have to say, is that I guess I assumed Raboppy's gender. I always assumed Raboppy was a girl. So yeah, there you go. Now this episode was interesting because this is straight off the heels of dealing with the last villain. We haven't had like a big season break in between, so we're going straight from one big villain to the next big villain. And what I really like about this is that I like the new villain. We don't need this new villain established too much because we're quite familiar with it. We know it's I, we know it's Raboppy. We understand roughly the motivations that's going through I's mind. He wants to get revenge against the people that had hurt the AIs, which at the moment is Soul Technologies, specifically Queen, who did dice up the Earth Ignis, so that's one of the reasons why he wants to get revenge. He has an ulterior goal, which we don't know just yet, but we know he wants to use Soul Technologies, he wants to use those AI robots, which we'll talk about a little bit. But I's character I don't think is a massive flip of who he was, because it does say that when he was brought back, when he digitally recreated himself, it affected Raboppy, and I imagine it affected him a little bit as well. So he's not in the same mentality as he was. He might be a different person. It's not the original I that we once knew. It's someone just a little tiny bit different. Whether he's more true to himself, we don't know just yet. But no, he still acts like himself. He still does silly things, but he is a little bit more serious in his goal. I think this character moment was cemented best when he's doing his speech for his big Link monster play. He's doing the whole like 10-minute speech for summoning his monster, and Raboppy's like, yeah, your summon chant's a bit too long, and then he just cuts it short. And I thought that was brilliant. That's the kind of main villain that I want. He's quite layered and he's funny, and I think it's good. So what we learned from this episode is that now Soul Technologies has created these androids that have a little bit of AI inside of them. It makes them the perfect host for I and Raboppy because they can just literally put their data straight inside one of these robots and they sort of take on the form of them. See, this is one problem that I do have with this episode, is the fact that all the crap that Soul Technologies has put all the people that use like Link VRAINS and everything through, there doesn't seem to be like any ramifications. I think they might have mentioned it once that people have been complaining about it to Zyzen or something. I don't even think it was about that. They've had people having their minds sucked out. People have been trapped inside of their virtual reality space and things. So it's just like, you have to sort of put yourself out of the real world for a little bit, because this company would not still be running if this was the case. I don't know. They must have the best, like, marketing team ever to... It was all a joke. It's all a prank, guys. Don't worry. So in the duel between I and Queen, we actually got to see their decks for the first time. I would like to have seen more of Queen playing her deck, because she actually plays a Allure Queen deck, which I thought was brilliant. When was the last time you saw level monsters in the Yu-Gi-Oh series? It's probably the Armed Dragon monsters. It's bloody been ages. I would like to have seen more, because it looks like they've got new support as well. So I don't know if any of that support's out now, but that Link monster, yeah, give me more support for level monsters. Give them some love. But she also uses Drowning Mirror Force at one point, which I thought was kind of cool. We got a little bit of legacy support there, so that's always good. As well, she tried to cheat in a Master Duel where she was trying to use her skill, which I think that skill was a little bit sexist as well. It was called like Honeypot, wasn't it? Isn't that when like women lure men to do things? I don't know. So that was that, but she ends up losing. And it turns out that I is using a deck called an Ignista deck. But it's called like at Ignista, which I thought was kind of weird. That's going to be a nightmare to search or to like hashtag and stuff. It'd be like hashtag at Ignista. I don't know. That's kind of weird. But yeah, it's an at Ignista deck. And it's basically, it's a little bit of a mirror of Yusaku's deck. Because originally, I guess Yusaku's deck is the Cyburst deck. But that was what came from I's World and everything. So he's playing a Cyburst deck that revolves around dark Cyburst monsters. They all seem to be quite small monsters, but when they come together they can make what is essentially the darker version of the Decode Talker, which was Dark Templar Ignista. We also see that I can use all the summoning mechanics so far. We saw him use Synchro and Xyz monsters. He summoned Wind Pegasus, as well as the Xyz monster Light Dragon. So It seems as if his extra deck is made up of each of the different attributes of the other Ignises, so we're going to probably see some water, some earth, other things in future episodes, which I think is quite cool. So in a way, the Dark Ignis did actually become kind of a divine all of them kind of Ignises. We haven't actually had explained how he sort of gained this new form, how he sort of evolved into this new one, but I guess it was kind of stated by Roboppy. Roboppy says, it didn't affect me at first, but I started to get smarter, sort of, after she got free will. He got free will. He got free will. I like how Link Karibo is like their new ship in the VRAINS world, and we have a new Karibo monster, which is called Ling Karibo or something like that, and that Karibo is able to stop trap cards. And it was very similar to that of Link Karibo. You can special summon it from the graveyard by tributing a monster, and then you can negate a trap on the opponent's side of the field. So, that's actually kind of a cool card. That's pretty sweet. On the other end of the episode, we actually got to see Kusanagi in this episode. Funnily enough, it turns out that Jin is going to make a full recovery because when Lightning sucked out some of his memories to gain that 1 extra life point so he could survive in that duel, coincidentally, it was the memories of the lost incident, so that means that Jin has lost the lost memories of the lost memories incidents, the lost thingy incident. So yeah, he's just had it erased, so that's very nice for him. So at least he gets a happy ending. I would like to see actually a bit more of Jin. I don't know what Jin is like as a character. We've only ever seen him like mind-slaved, or like, I don't think we've ever heard him properly talk. So, like, yeah, bring him in for a bit. Give him a duel. Why not? That could be fun. In the preview for the next episode, after we see that Queen has been defeated, I think that Zyzon is going to bring all the cast together, Avengers style, for all of them to work together to take on I. I don't think they'll know it's I at first, but if they do find out, that'll be quite interesting. So yeah, overall, I thought the episode was good. My only criticism is the fact that there is, like, no ramifications to Soul Technologies for all the bad stuff that's happened in their technology kind of thing, and the fact that after the AIs went rampant, they're now putting them inside of androids. But I digress. I like I as the new villain. I think it's really good. It has the potential to be probably one of the best villains of the Yu-Gi-Oh series so far. Curious to see how that goes. Looking forward to seeing Roboppy duel as well. He's playing like a deck with like robot monsters, but they're also spliced with like kitchen appliances and things. So it's like, I think, like a fridge and a toaster and stuff, or something along them lines. So that should be quite cool. Guys, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comment section below, and thank you very much for watching. Catch you later.